Thank you, everyone. Madam Clerk, if you again would take the roll call for board members. And this would be to make sure everyone announces their location, i.e. Genoa Township, the Caribbean, Bahamas, Howell, wherever, but if you could kindly do so, and I'll turn this over to our clerk.
You're muted, Polly.
Mute. Can you hear me?
There
Yes.
you go.
Sorry, Ledford.
Jean Ledford from her home in Genoa Township.
Croft.
Terry.
You're muted, Terry.
Is it all right now?
There you go.
Croft.
Terry Croft, Genoa Township.
Hunt.
Robin Hunt, present, home at Genoa Township.
Lowe.
Diana Lowe, Genoa Township.
Mortensen.
Jim Mortensen at his home in Genoa Township.
Scaleras, Genoa Township. Rogers.
Bill Rogers at the Genoa Township offices in the boardroom.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on to the request for approval of the agenda.
Move approval of the agenda, Robin Hunt.
Low support.
We have a motion and a support. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
There's that delay again. Is there any? So we have all ayes, correct? Diana, you came in late. There was a hesitation on that.
What?
She supported it, so I'm guessing she voted for it.
Well, it just came in after. I was just giving her a little bit of a hard time because it came in. A delay.
You're kind of,
Yes.
your voice is delayed.
Yep. So we now have an agenda. So item number 1, this is the public hearing and consideration of resolution 210113 related to the adoption of the 2021 to 2025 Township Recreation Plan. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, we will pass this by unanimous support.
Don't we need a
Roll call. We need a roll call.
We need a roll call, don't we?
For the actual vote.
We just
We
approved
do.
the agenda,
Yeah,
not the
we haven't approved the
resolution.
plan yet. We're going to get the presentation and then we're going to take a vote, which will be roll call. So in that case, I am going to turn this over to Miss Jill and also Matt, I believe.
Yes, thank you very much. And thank you for making time to have this public hearing in the timely fashion that we need to get the recreation plan submitted to the DNR by February 1st. So I think it sounded like you made a motion to open the public hearing, but did you actually vote to open the public hearing? Or are you going to do that after I do the presentation?
After you do the presentation.
Perfect. Okay, I just want to make sure we didn't miss anything. So we have a very, very short PowerPoint that just is going to walk you through the process. I don't know if we have members of the public watching today, but we will share that for their benefit as well. And for those of you who may not have been with us when we presented the draft plan to you back in December. So I will let Matt run through those couple of slides real quick, and then we can talk about the plan.
All right. So hopefully everybody can hear me and see my screen.
Mhm.
Great. So I'm going to run through these couple slides, goes over the process of how we got the plan together and how we go forward and get it adopted by the DNR.
I can't see your screen though. I can see you, but I can't see.
Yeah, I
You.
can't either.
You sound great though.
How's that?
There we
Yeah.
go.
There we go. All right, that was just a sound check. So now that we've got our screen shared, this is, yep, now we can see that. So let me move on to slide 2 here. So this is the overview of the process. It was started back in March 2020. The plan kind of talks about a little bit in the public opportunities section, public input opportunities rather, how it was a little bit of a different process last year, given the health concerns of meeting in person. So the Recreation Master Plan Open House was actually hosted online in November, a couple of weeks in November from the 4th to the 20th. And that was an interactive virtual open house where there were pictures and a couple of survey questions were also included in that. That was also ran from November 4th through the 20th. I actually forgot to put the number on here, but we had 722 views on the master plan virtual open house. So that's a great number. Normally turnout at open houses is not nearly that. So we were happy to see that folks were at least looking at it. 112 submitted survey responses. So that those are summarized in the plan as well. And then the appendix will contain the full survey and results so that everyone can see how the information was summarized. So those are the opportunities for public input. And then we have one tonight. If there's any public listening or watching who'd like to call in, tonight is a public hearing as well. So that is kind of how we got here. The plan is to be submitted by February 1st, 2021, and for 2021 DNR grant consideration. So the approval process takes about a month. Usually it wraps up in March then, and then grant applications are due in April. So this is one of the last opportunities. So this is a quick list of everything that was updated in the plan. This list is also based on the DNR plan certification. So we use this to make sure that we meet all of their requirements. So I'm not going to read through all those, but they were all updated. Some of the key recommendations that are found in the plan talks about maintaining the current parks and then rehabilitating equipment and paths when necessary. There is some discussion and some action items regarding acquiring appropriate land and potentially for additional park facilities or trail facilities. There's some discussion about exploring the potential for a dog park as well as a splash pad. Those are separate entities. That's not a dog park for a splash pad, however fun that may be. And then we have the recommendation to add some adult activity equipment to support lifetime fitness for residents of all ages. So that's those are some of the highlights. This is on the right side of the slide there. You can see how it's laid out in the plan, prioritized, and then eventually the costs can get filled in, and that's a good way to budget for that. And then here's just a quick overview of the process. So as I mentioned, tonight is a public hearing. Comments can be heard. The plan can be adopted and minor revisions can still be made if there's any public comment or any board discussion related to any minor issues. As I mentioned earlier, submit the adopted plan to the DNR website by February 1st. And then something to keep in mind that the document can be amended or updated throughout the 2021 and then resubmitted in 2022 if there are big picture changes, like a piece of property comes online that the township wants to acquire, something of that nature that's not included in this. Otherwise, this plan is good for 5 years. So that's a quick summary of the process. I am going to stop sharing. And you can all
Thank you,
look at
Matt.
me again. Not a
I would
problem.
note that we got one comment that was shared by Kelly earlier in January on the 4th. Someone had sent in a question to see if there had been any consideration for pickleball courts. We do hear that from time to time in some of our communities, but I don't think we had included it in the action strategies. That's something that we could add in along the lines of the exploring the dog park and exploring the splash pad. Not committing you to installing the pickleball courts, but allowing you, kind of putting it in there as a placeholder. That's something that people might be interested in. And so looking into that a little bit further.
Jill, is there any reference to tennis courts in there?
I don't recall tennis courts being included in there.
I would think that pickleball kind of falls along with the tennis courts.
Yeah, and I honestly need to be more, I guess it's time to learn how to play pickleball, because I am hearing it more and more, and people always rave about it. It sounds like it's a lot of fun. It's a little bit smaller than tennis courts.
Unfortunately, I'm hearing that is, has been coming north from the senior facilities down south. So my hunch is that will be part of that senior component that you have.
Yes, and that's
Not
awesome.
that it will only be seniors, but that's where.
Exactly. There's a person that had suggested that, said that the nearest facility that they were aware of was in Howell. So I'm not sure if there's anything closer that anyone else is aware of, but that might be a nice opportunity for people of all ages.
Interesting. Are there any other questions from the board members? Comments? Hearing none, then what I would like to do is have a motion and support, and we will open the public hearing. We'll kind of hold for a few minutes as we try to get the technology up to snuff so people have time to call in or email or something. So, but if I could get a motion and support to open the public hearing regarding this issue.
Move approval.
Support Robin Hunt.
So we have Ledford and Hunt. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. We are now open for public comment. And I see popped up, at least on our screen here, is call 312-626-6799 and enter meeting number, looks like 820-9732-1953, and then press 9 to indicate that you would like to speak. Then wait for us to have you unmuted. So if there is anyone for the public that wishes to chime in, please do so now.
Bill, I think you have to press *9.
Oh, *9, yeah. Good point. Thank you, Jean.
You're welcome.
Hmm,
You're unmuted.
I'm on them.
You're unmuted.
I guess in the interim while we're waiting, I just wanted to thank everybody for getting this to this point now, because we do know we're under time limits. Jill, you and your staff, I truly appreciate us being able to move forward with this and look forward to a lot of positive things, possibly even pickleball, even though I still don't get it. It's amazing, and that dynamic changes all the time. From before, it probably was baseball fields and tennis courts, and now who knows what it is.
Exactly.
We have to bring our own pickles.
Yes. By the way, if you're bringing, I prefer dill.
Mhm. Well, we appreciate the board, again, taking the time to meet with us in December and then have that 30-day review period that Matt mentioned, and then have this meeting tonight so that we can get everything all buttoned up and submitted by February 1st.
It has been a challenging year to get some of these things accomplished, I will
It
grant.
has, and we're looking forward to getting back in gear on the master plan. It's been hard because I know that all of you would prefer to meet in person. So we keep hoping that things are going to get to the point where we can do that. Done some work in the background, but we would really like the opportunity to meet with you all and get through some of these long vision planning ideas.
Well, it's important for all of us to be proactive, and hopefully we can accommodate. We just noticed even when very little snow hit, for instance, our sled hill out here was packed, even though they
I
go
bet.
down once and the grass is all showing. It didn't matter. They were out there.
Yeah, people are ready to get out.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Mhm.
I see a couple of numbers popping up. I don't know if they care to chime in or not. Again, we are open for comment right now as part of the public hearing. If anyone cares to call in. We'll try to give it a couple more minutes here. Let me ask about how long, once submitted, do they actually begin to review the documents and make those decisions typically?
They typically have a response back within a month.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good, especially because everybody's doing them. Anyone who's got a plan up has to turn them in the same day. So
they're prepared.
Yeah, they, as I mentioned, the grant deadline is April 1st. So there's a lot of folks who are approving them, submitting them by February, and then they need to have it done and approved by April 1st so that their recreation plan is current. So it's done by April.
Okay. Excellent.
Bill, you may want to periodically remind people to do the *9. I'm not sure if that's what these people are waiting for.
Yes, if you press *9, that indicates that you want to speak. And then you just need to wait until we unmute you. But it's *9, because Jean politely reminded me.
Yes, I did.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I wanted to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to respond and not press plain 9.
this is good. This is a nice system. We haven't seen exactly this format before. You do a nice job with this.
Well, we have to thank Matt and Luke for pulling that off, and almost making us look good.
They make you look very good.
Yeah.
And what's nice is that it feels it's very professional, and it's good that everybody's able to get on, and that your tech folks have seemed like they've helped shepherd you through this process nicely.
Yes, absolutely true. Well, I am going to close the call to the public. And let's move on to, since we've already really made the motion and support, let's move on to the consideration of resolution 210113. And this is going to require a roll call vote.
Martinson moves approval of the resolution
I'm,
210113.
I think I am unmuted.
Is there support?
Low supports.
Roll call, please.
Stay here.
Is she muted?
Bedford,
Aye.
Croft,
Aye.
Hunt,
Aye.
Lowe,
Aye.
Mortensen,
Aye.
Caleras, aye. Rogers.
Aye. I just got a flash that somebody was not able to respond, but I'm not sure why.
Yeah, Bill, they just checked in a little late here. Do you want me to allow them to speak?
She was the original attendee. She's been on here the whole time.
I know, but this is the first time she raised her hand.
Ah, okay. Yes, please, go ahead. Martha?
Yes, that's me.
Ah, okay.
Sorry, I can't see myself, so I don't know why it's not connecting. But I also
It's
tried
called
to call the phone.
technology, Martha. What can I tell you? It's called technology.
I know, I'm right there with you. I did try and call the number, and I don't know, and did the *9 as well. So just for your information, I don't know if anyone else was unable to connect. But really, all I wanted to say is that thanks for making this a priority. I also with Howell Area Parks and Recreation Foundation. It's a 501c3, and we work closely with the authority as well. So it's fairly new from 2019, and we've been working with them with programming. But right now we're working and looking for projects that we can help out with in the community. I know there's a lot of them, but we want to focus more on parks and greens because they have been so important in this time. So as you're going over in the spring and the summer, I heard pickleball might be a good option to maybe focus our efforts, but even grant writing or helping to fundraise to match those grants, we would happy to help you guys out in that area, or even just doing a park work day. So keep us in your mind. And again, thanks for making the Parks and Recreation a priority in the community.
Well, thank you very much for your input, your comments, and actually look forward to having some assistance from you in regard to what's hot, what's not, directions. As I said, we're not the closed shop. Everybody needs input, and so I thank you again and appreciate it.
Perhaps they could write a letter supporting our project. I think that would help getting the grant. Did you hear me? No.
Yeah, go ahead, Martha.
What project are you thinking? I mean, of course we support your recreation plan. I would be happy to write a support for the recreation plan to go along with it, or just being included in the plan. And I can forward that to Jill if you guys would like that as well.
It definitely wouldn't hurt. So Okay, thank you very much, and look forward to your letter also, and hopefully everybody working with each other down the road with this.
Thank you, Mel.
Thank you. Martha right now is still the only attendee. We had the motion support, we had the roll call. So this motion carries with unanimous support. So we now have a plan and we can continue to move on to meet those deadlines. So upward and onward. And thanks for all the work and diligence through this whole mess, because it isn't as comfortable trying to put this together when you're constantly on TV. But be that as it may. Let's move on to the member discussion. Any comments, questions?
Yeah, I have a question for Mike. A couple, 3 days ago, I received a postcard from a Keller Williams Real Estate Company, and they used our logo. Can they do that? It's our logo, you know, with the green with, you know which one I'm talking about.
I do. What was the context? Was it for marketing?
Yes, they were trying to sell houses, listing or selling houses. And it was a promotional thing from one of the agents.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you want to give me a copy, I mean, technically that is copyrighted. We own that. I guess if people are trying to stabilize and increase our property values by selling properties in our community, I'm not too hacked off about it.
Right.
But just give me a copy of it and I'll follow up if we need to.
I will. Thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing none, then we are in line for a motion and support for adjournment.
So moved.
Support, Crop.
We have motion support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.